MTG and me, this is Charles, and as you might be aware, we got a spoiled or a leaked copy of one of the Friday Night Magic promos for the new Ravnica Allegiance set a few days ago. It was in Spanish. Well, tonight we actually got all 6 of the promos coming out for Ravnica Allegiance sort of spoiled, or I would say in this case leaked, because it's not an official spoiler. So I'm going to briefly discuss a couple of them here, so if you don't want to be, exposed to that, like, this is the time to turn off the video, and all I can say is, as always, thanks for watching. For those of you sticking around, let's walk through these real quick. Alright, so we got these promos split up, and 3 of them are Friday Night Magic promos. One of them is the Open House promo, then we have the Buy Box promo, and an additional promo. I'm guessing it's potentially Draft Weekend. I can't really read the bottom of it. It's the one I'm most interested in, so we're going to plow through these F&M promos real quick. So we'll start off with the red one, the Spanish one that's previously spoiled. It's called Light Up the Stage. This is a red sorcery. It's got an ability on it called Spectacle Red, and I don't know what this does, and people have been speculating about it, but we just don't really have the answer. At least the spell itself, though, allows you to exile the top 2 cards of your library, and then until the end of your next turn you can play those cards. So basically temporarily increases your hand size, gives you some access to cards out of your library. So next up in the F&M promos, we've got a spell called Growth Spiral. This is a green and blue instant, so Simic. It allows you to draw a card and then put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. Next is Mortify. I believe this is a reprint. This is a 3 mana, so 1 and a white and black mana instant that allows you to destroy a target creature or an enchantment. Okay, so with those out of the way, the Buy a Box promo is actually a card called the Haunt of Hightower. So this is a 6 mana, 4 and 2 black, 3/3 legendary vampire with flying and lifelink. He's got a bunch more rules text on there as well, so he says whenever he attacks, defending player discards a card, and whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on the Haunt of Hightower. So this guy gets gradually bigger every time he attacks, or anytime you force your opponent to discard a card, or in fact have a creature killed. So I guess the Haunt of Hightower can get pretty crazy pretty fast given the mechanics, kind of synergistic. The beauty of it, of course, is as soon as it attacks it gets a +1/+1 counter, and you can pump it up at instant speed with various other effects. Okay, so for the Open House promo, we're looking at a copy of Rakdos Firewheeler. So this is a 4 mana, so 2 black and 2 red human rogue creature with 4 power, 3 toughness. It says whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target opponent and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature or player. So pretty neat. You got the full art sort of thing going on there with the text box. Kind of lines up with that whole 2 and 2 cycle. We've seen some other cards. The last one I think is the most interesting one. It's the reason I kind of made this video. If you had a chance to look at some of the early speculation videos for Guilds of Ravnica, one of the things that was being discussed online and made a lot of sense was the potential return or the creation of like an Ascendancy cycle of cards, similar to the ones we saw from Khans of Tarkir, but for the Guilds of Ravnica. And in this case, it looks like this might actually be coming to Ravnica Allegiance. What this does with regards to leaving like half of a cycle unfulfilled is anyone's guess, but I suspect if they're including the 5-card cycle in Ravnica Allegiance, we may see the conclusion of it, like so a total of the 10-card cycle in the 3rd Ravnica set. Regardless, this card is called Simic Ascendancy, and it's a 2 mana, so 1 blue and 1 green mana enchantment at rare, and for 1 colorless, 1 green, and 1 blue mana, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It also says whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on creatures you control, you put that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if Simic Ascendancy has 20 or more counters on it, you win the game. So this is really neat because Simic plays really well with these +1/+1 counter synergies. Also neat, because of other formats, for example, Doubling Season, and the fact that this is an alternate win condition is really interesting. I'm hoping this is actually a cycle, and it would be amazing to see a cycle where alternate win conditions were embraced for all of the potential guilds in Ravnica. Alternatively, it's possible that this is just a standalone card and isn't actually an Ascendancy. But if I was a betting man, I'd suggest that we're going to see other ascendancies for the various guilds. So that's it. Short and sweet look at some of the cards that were leaked last weekend. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have any sort of comments about how we could improve these videos or what type of content you'd see, I'd love to hear it. And as always, thanks for watching.